Welcome to the Songwriter Connection podcast. Our show originates in Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, USA. We connect you to the songwriters and the stories behind your favorite songs. Join us as we take a look at the craft of songwriting through the eyes of the songwriter. Now, here's your host, Dave Linehan.
Hi, I'm Dave, and thanks for joining us on the podcast. This is Season 1, Episode 7 now. Kind of hard to believe. And if you don't know it by now, I live in Nashville, where there are a whole lot of songwriters. I'm talking a huge community of real creative folks, all with amazing stories that we're going to share with you every time that we get together on the Songwriter Connection podcast. We'll have hit writers, and we'll have artists and people like our guest today who are making quite an impact. And when COVID and time allows, we'll even have live music straight from my dining room table, or as I like to call it, the Linehan Writer's Room. We do write a lot of songs around this table. So, yeah. And so today is one of those days, and it's an extremely special day today because we practically have a whole band in here today, which is really cool. We have a wall of sound, you might say. In fact, I think I will say we have Ridge Banks and the Wall of Sound here at my dining room table today. Ridge Banks and the Wall of Sound's our guest, and I want to tell you a little bit about Ridge Banks. He's the kind of guy that when you meet for the first time, you could swear you've been friends for life. He's just that kind of guy. And he moved to Nashville a couple years ago from Washington, D.C. area, but originally came from a small town in Michigan. And like so many of our guests on the show, Ridge grew up in a musical family and started performing at a young age. So, and his music today, well, it's different. And it's what he describes as rugged acoustic. It's kind of like Jim Croce, John Denver meets Eric Clapton. And then you mix a little rhythmic pulses of guys like Ed Sheeran and John Mayer, and you've got Ridge Banks and the Wall of Sound. His songs are fresh, and they're blazing new trails. So check it out. You're going to enjoy the show today, and we do, as always, thank you for taking the time to hear our podcast. Hi, Ridge.
Hi, how are you, man?
How you doing, man?
Great to see you.
Hey, before we get started, introduce me to your buddies here in the Wall of Sound.
Well, I got two of my three band members here. I got Micah on drums, and I got David Young on acoustic guitar. He plays bass and lead guitar both. And we're missing Bobby Kropp. He's our rocker. The mad scientist. His pedal board is almost as heavy as him.
Yeah, he's got all those gizmos.
That's right.
Yeah. He gets the greatest sound.
That's right.
Well, that's fantastic.
So the four of us make the Wall of Sound.
Yeah, and you guys are great.
We got together about a year ago.
David, Micah, thank you. It all happened on your birthday, right?
Yeah, it all happened on my birthday. I had a few days ago was my birthday, so that was our year anniversary of the Quarantine Garage Band. That's how we started.
The Quarantine Garage Band.
Yeah, man. We were all so busy doing other stuff. I'm not sure we would have gotten together if it wasn't for all this madness. So there is some good things coming out of this crazy.
And the other cool thing is you're all songwriters. So it's songwriters together playing in a band. And so you've got a lot in common.
Yeah, we have a lot in common. And we're playing all of our songs up there on stage.
That's great. You know, music has done a lot for you, Ridge, as you mentioned before the interview. So I want to hear more about what it's done for you personally.
Well, it's been so many things to me in different times of my life. You know, when I was a really little kid, 3-4 years old, I had a guitar. I was putting on shows, charging my mom and dad for, to get in. And especially my grandpa. When my grandpa showed up, man, the party started. Oh, and he could play all kinds of cool instruments. And I got some of those instruments still with me. Nice. And I play them on stage. My Uncle Doug was in a bluegrass band, and I just loved listening to that. It was really my first love was in bluegrass. In fact, even in our band, we're starting to introduce the banjo and the mandolin and stuff that we play. Yeah, Bobby played that just the other day at the Commodore with us. It was absolutely amazing.
Great.
So I really like the bluegrass. And my other uncle is a band director and can play every instrument in the band. Wow, he's a genius. And so we always had musical things going on. My mother played piano and made sure I never quit guitar. Growing up with some learning disabilities, had dyslexia and stuff, so it was hard for me to learn music that way. So I had to kind of do it my way, and she was always open to that and made sure that I didn't put my guitar down. And Thank
so you
for
heard
that,
it.
for
You
sure.
heard that music, and
Yeah, I always heard it, and in the beginning it was fun and it was great, and then life happens,
it does.
and
does.
things happen to us all, and we kind of put the things that are really most important to us sometimes aside, and I did that for a while. I kind of lived all over the country. I was a traveling sales guy. I was trying to do so many things, but in my heart, I knew I was supposed to be on stage. I always knew I was supposed to be on stage, and I struggled with that, and maybe some of it was my own self-image and stuff. So at that time, music was a little different to me. Then it became my healing source, where I would work through problems and write things, succinctly so that I understood my issues, or maybe there was a message I wanted to tell somebody, and I didn't know how to do it.
so writing for you has been kind of a cathartic experience.
Oh, very much so. You could tell me I was learning Jim Croce picking and just sitting in my, and even if I felt bad about myself, if somehow I could pick up this guitar and make it beautiful, make it sound beautiful, it just gave me hope. It gave me hope for healing and, hope for the future. And then as I kept trying to search for something else that would feed my soul like that, and I couldn't really.
There's nothing.
Eventually, as I got older, I just said, man, this is what I got to do. And I had an opportunity, I worked in healthcare for about 30 years, and I saw my job kind of coming to an end.
You don't look that old to be worked that long.
Well, I appreciate that.
He is that old, really.
I am. That's one of the biggest messages of my music is you're never too old to follow your dreams.
No.
And your destiny
that.
that God has put there for you. So, I took the opportunity to, about the same time, one of my best friends came down with cancer. And, we were looking for purpose. And that's when music became purpose. Became a real healing spot where I found out he was a poet. And I had been playing music for years and years, and I'd started just making melodies. I heard in one of your former podcasts, you're a melody guy, too.
Yeah.
I'm a real melody guy. I got to listen to it, especially being dyslexic. I can't hear all the words all the time until I really focus or I get past the music. Right. So something's got to really catch me and be different musically in order for me to do. So I had all these licks and all these song ideas, but I didn't have any words. And so we got together and started putting that together, and man, it didn't take long before these songs started forming. And I thought they were really amazing. And they pulled him out of a bad spot. He's now alive and thriving. And
so he survived the cancer
he
scare.
did. Yes, he did. And he's still my best friend. He lives back in D.C. And
good story.
Yeah, he's part of Green Scotch Studios that we started. In our LLC and our. Yeah. I guess you call it our studio or label, whatever.
Now, this song that you wrote, this is an amazing story. So tell us about this.
We were roommates for a little while, and he came down one time and he said, this is a dumb idea. I probably can't write a story. I probably can't write a song. So anytime you hear that, you go, all right, bring it on. Yeah, we're gonna write a song. And he said, man, I'm hanging out in my I'm going to the hospital. I'm doing these treatments, and all I can do during these treatments is stare at a part number. I don't feel very good. I can't read. I can't do something. And that part number is 18152. So
was it like on a
yeah, like a little piece, a plastic piece that goes on the machine. He showed it to me. He said 18152, and I just find myself just staring at that thing, and and I feel like a prisoner. I can't do anything for hours. So about the same time, I figured out that Johnny Cash didn't go to Folsom Prison, and I was like, man, I need a prison song. So I figured I need a prison song before I come to Nashville. So we wrote a song called Prisoner 18152.
And you're going to do it for us.
Yeah, I'm going to do it for you right now.
Right. This is a great song. Rich Banks and the Wall of Sound with us on the Songwriter Connection podcast.
I'm prisoner 18152 behind bars for something that I didn't do. Kept my nose clean for 9 out of 10. Now I'm stuck in a hole, never see light again. I'm prisoner 18152. Traded in hope for a new attitude. Empathy's gone, there's darkness instead. No life in these eyes, they're already dead. Never was a sinner, now I laugh at the saints. Can only swallow so much pride before my conscience breaks. The deep calm of the dark within keep me warm at night and my only friend. Just killed a man for stealing my food. No time for shame is what I had to do. Man's gotta choose between pride and pain. Never look back and always live with a stain. If you see me coming, you better run and hide. No longer a man, I'm an animal inside. Not responsible for what I do. I'm just prisoner 18152. 18152. 18152. 18152. I used to be a man, those days all through. I'm just prisoner 18152.
Live from the dining room table at a handwriting room on the Songwriter Connection podcast. Ridge Banks and the Wallace Sound. Great lead guitar from David Young.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
My goodness, sounds good. And folks, this is what Nashville is like if you don't live here. And you're, when you do live here and you're surrounded by this great talent, I just love having folks over and playing live music when you can and when COVID allows. And we're all at a safe distance around this big dining room table.
Is Nashville a magic or what?
It really is. And
man.
That was going to be my next question. So you're living in Washington, D.C.
I was in D.C., but I kind of live all over the place.
Right.
I think I lived in 12 different states
Did you?
as I was traveling all over the country and in sales and things like that, and then traveling even more for sales. So,
now, did you have to travel through Nashville at all?
not very often, to tell you the truth, but I did come down here quite a bit.
Did you?
My first album, I mixed here with Jimmy Copens in his studio. Yeah.
Yes.
So he did all the work on my first album, and I would come down here. I didn't do much in Nashville because I stayed in the studio and just worked on editing and all that. But I was doing that for a few years, and then 2 years ago I decided to move down here. And man, it's like in all those places I lived, it took probably 4 years to really get settled.
Yeah.
Here it took 4 months.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it?
You're playing almost every night. Somewhere you're meeting all these guys that have the same interest and talk about even bro love.
It is.
It's like.
Everybody cheers each other on.
They really do. They say it's competitive here, but it's not really what you feel as a. It's only competitive in the fact that everybody's talented. Everyone's there helping you. Everyone's in a different part of their journey,
cheering each other on.
And it's amazing watching people grow too.
They say all boats rise on the high. The tide goes up. So
right.
And we all work together. And you mentioned Jimmy, so I just want to put a big plug in for them because Jimmy and Annalisa, his lovely wife, are on the weekend shows and also Tuesday. So it's Tuesday, Friday, Saturdays at the Commodore Lounge, which is a great songwriter night here in Nashville. So if you come to town and you're looking for songwriter nights, guys playing their guitars, and you never know who you're going to see. You know, I mean,
and the live stream is one of the best in
and they stream it
Nashville,
live.
man.
That's right.
Really, really good what Jimmy does.
I really enjoy playing on their shows and more than. But you play all over now. You've been doing you solo it at a lot of different writers' nights.
Yep, a lot of writers' nights.
You're out there most.
I'm out there, at least 3 or 4 nights a week normally. It's been sometimes it's a little slow with COVID and things like that, and just being safe.
And then lots of band gigs too, right?
Yeah,
casinos
that's what we started to do.
Yeah,
we started doing a casino. We went up to the Oak Grove Casino a few weeks ago. Man, that must have been a blast, giant stage. We're playing at Kimbro's, play at Puckett's.
Kimbro's is a legendary place.
That's a really cool place.
The Hag used to hang out there back in the day.
404 is a big place that we just had a big concert and played there. That's a really great place to play.
That's another nice place.
Quite a few places all over town.
Donaldson Pump.
Donaldson Pump. Donaldson Pub we've been playing at. We're going to get out to see Papa Turney out there too.
I love Papa Turney.
I do too, man.
Down on Lake Percy Priest, not too far from here.
It's
Great
opened
barbecue.
up enough to get in there and play now.
Oh yeah, I'll be down there when you're there, no doubt.
Yeah, there's so many places I want to go that we used to go. Before all this stuff happened.
Once we get it behind us, man.
Yeah, we closed a couple places down. We used to play at the Broken Spoke all the time. That was our home for a while.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in town knew about that place too.
If you don't know about the Broken Spoke, legendary songwriter venue in a hotel, north side of town, and so many great songwriters and artists broke it out, including Tim McGraw.
Yeah, Faith
Hill, and it just this past summer closed.
Yep.
We've lost so many venues due to COVID, and it's in other Douglas Corner. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. Well, let's get back to the songwriting thing, because when you get to Nashville, you've got to learn to co-write, don't you?
You do,
and co-writing is it's a different thing. If you're not used to it, it's people getting in a room together, throwing ideas together, and making something out of nothing. And sometimes 2 and 3 heads are better than one. But it's kind of the way songs are written in this town. So for you, was there a learning curve?
Oh, there still is. I'm still learning, because I wrote most of my songs with my buddy back in D.C. We know everything about each other. We're really comfortable. We can say anything to each other. We can tell each other to shut up, I got a great idea, and leave you alone, you know what I mean? No one's offended and all those types of things, but, I guess I took that for granted, because you come out here and, I think it's different for different people, and some people can write, and they can write 5 or 6 songs in a day, and they can do all that, and it really is a business, but for me, especially from an artist side, it's really personal and really vulnerable. Mm-hmm. So, I've done some ministry work where I'm a leader of a small group and stuff, and I find it so similar to the same dynamics when you're getting a group together to write songs. So I do most of my work ahead of time. I make sure that it's somebody that we have a lot in common with. I'm sure that we have an idea that we want to share. It's hard for me to just start from scratch and do something with somebody and put that kind of pressure on it. And so there's a lot of things when it comes to that. So I'm pretty selective when it comes. And on top of that, there's a lot of songs that I brought to Nashville to see how they play out. And I'm still going through a lot of those stuff. So I find myself in modes where I'm writing for a long time, and then there's times where I'm in the studios, and then lately there's just been a time where we've been introducing everything to the band. Yeah. And seeing if the band likes and how it changes the song.
There's quite a difference between writing for yourself and writing for the commercial market, like for sync and in movies and things, and to pitch to other artists, and writing for yourself in a band. Isn't there?
Yeah, it really is. It's a big difference, I think, because some of the things that I'm going for is like authenticity. Whatever my idea is, it may be a message that I want to say. That's what my music is turned into now. Is I have something to say. I want to make sure that people shine light on everything. Don't leave anything in the dark. And I hope my music does that.
Oh, I believe it does.
And
one of my favorite songs that you have is a song called "Beautiful Mistake," and that's one that you did co-write here in Nashville.
It is one that I co-wrote in Nashville, and actually, it was a really cool story. We were at Papa Turney's. Actually, we were doing an old-fashioned guitar pull
barbecue place right on Percy Priest Lake.
Oh man,
folks.
great barbecue!
Yeah,
he's a great blues player too.
He is,
great blues music in there.
Great guy. Yep.
And it was an old-fashioned guitar pull, man. One guitar. passing
Wonderful.
passing it back and forth.
And they call it a guitar pull because you're pulling it from the next person who doesn't want to give it out.
Is that why I couldn't figure that out?
Yeah, a guitar pull. It's a thing here in Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there was a guy there, and I played, and afterwards he said, man, I really like your music, really like your style. He told me he had like 700 indie cuts.
Wow.
40 last year.
Wow.
I found out he wrote, and I'm talking about a man named Roy August, who now I consider a wonderful friend, but pulled me aside and said, I'd like to write something with you. And I said, well, man, I would absolutely love that. So I'll give you a call later. It was funny because a few people told me that, you know how it happens when you write a song in Nashville with a big guy. And it kind of happened like that.
Yeah.
So he called me and we had a conversation for about 2.5 hours. And at the end of the conversation, I said, oh, you mean like a beautiful mistake? And he goes, that's it.
That's the
write
song.
the whole song on that. I said, okay, do that, So the next day, he sends me the song that's written. And the way in which he wrote it, and the syntax, and the way he put the words together, I could kind of tell cadence and melody of what he really wanted. And I knew he liked what I did. So I just kind of did the stuff I liked. And so within a day or two, I had this great melody for it. And I sent it to him. And I thought we could go up. And he just said, man, I hope it helps your career.
Wow.
It's beautiful. And I love it. And it's called Beautiful
Let's
Mistake.
hear it, man.
I got to get my falsetto out.
Around the dining room
That's
table.
it. That's in the bag, yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Songwriter Connection podcast. I'm Dave Lettingham, and our guests are Ridge Banks and the Wall of Sound. Well, most of the Wall of Sound.
That's right. Most of the Wall of Sound.
We're missing
The
Bobby.
partial wall.
That's right, the partial
Or
wall.
the fence. Is
the fence of sound. That's right.
Or am I doing the shaker, or am I doing this? I forget.
Shaker.
Shaker?
We're doing a headphone pull, not a guitar pull.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Good to go.
Became hypnotized by a smiling name, sparkle in her eyes, in perfect frame. She was a right girl to give my heart a shake. 'Cause I fell in love with a beautiful mistake. Got love crazy, going all in. Now I am heartbroken, I'm trying to mend. Misread her actions, her love was fake. When I fell in love with a beautiful mistake. Beautiful mistake. Sometimes I believe mistakes were made for me. My judgment error, pretty as can be. Losing your love is all that I can tell. 'Cause I fell in love with a beautiful mistake. Got love crazy, going all in. Now I am heartbroken, I'm trying to mend. Misread her actions, her love was fake. When I fell in love with a beautiful mistake. Beautiful mistake. Beautiful mistake. Everything on line, beautiful mistake. Faults all mine, gamble on a feeling. I knew the stakes when I fell in love with a beautiful mistake. Beautiful mistake. Blinded by a dream, slipping away. It all went south at the end of the day. Start on to get to the love we'd made when I fell in love with a beautiful mistake. Beautiful mistake. Beautiful mistake. Beautiful mistake.
Fantastic, guys. Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love when we can do the live music and to have, almost the full band here. It's great. Great harmonies, great lead guitar, and it just sounds fantastic. Beautiful Mistake. Rich Banks, The Wall of Sound, our guest on the Songwriter Connection podcast. Beautiful song that you wrote. Beautiful song. I love it. One of my favorites. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm going to pull a little curve because back on episode 4, we had Greg Wilson. We called him Louisville Slugger from Louisville. And I know you guys are buddies.
We are.
And he played a song that you guys co-wrote together.
Yes.
And I'd like to hear not only your version, but
Okay.
your version of the story of how this song got wrote. Because it really is a fantastic story. It really is. You being a traveling salesman and all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Chicago being my stomping grounds, just south of there, going through the Midwest, I'd pick up a car on a Monday and 1,000 miles later on Friday, drop it off. Driving all through the Midwest. It's just easier than flying.
Yeah.
And there was a place I used to go a lot called Normal, Illinois.
Normal, Illinois.
Which I thought was always so odd and funny,
Is it outside of Chicago?
It's south of Chicago. It's in the middle of Illinois.
Okay.
It's by Bloomington, Pekin, all those little things over there.
Effingham?
Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I used to cruise around there. I had a bunch of clients and stuff. And one of those roads, it says you're a half a mile from Normal. There was a sign. And I went, man, if I ever go to Nashville,
That's a song.
that's going to be a song, I'm telling you. And so when I got here, and that was probably 2010. Something like that. Quite a while ago.
You had that in your hook book?
Yeah, I had it in my hook book. That's another thing that Greg Wilson, I heard him say it too, his hook book. So when I heard Greg Wilson play and his bluegrass bass, that was just so nice. And I thought, man, that's exactly the way I want that song to sound. And we didn't write a whole lot of it. I just knew kind of, that I wanted to be half a mile from Normal. And we sat down to write that. And of course, I had to grab another guitar because it's tuned in open Greg Wilson.
Greg Wilson, too.
Yeah.
Dad Gad.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
it was like a Baghdad.
And
too.
then some.
Then some, yeah.
And then it cabled way up. And so he started playing it, and I came up with the beginning of the hook, and he came up with the end of it right away.
Cool.
And I thought, oh, man, this
Great
is
song.
going to be so good. Man, and he took over the melody of it, which is something I normally don't give up. But, man, I just loved it so much, what he does. He is such an amazing, some of my favorite songs in Nashville are his, and I feel so fortunate that he wrote this song. And we went back and forth, and it was COVID too, so it was kind of hard to go back and forth. In fact, we wrote so much of it, and I played it so much that when he kind of changed it, I said, I don't want to change mine. So we've kind of got two versions of the song. I don't know if that is common or not, but I thought, well, that's just better because we kind of had a third or an alternative kind of chorus, and that was the one he likes and plays, and I don't play that particular chorus. So I said, well, just more for the merrier if somebody wants to do something with that song. And I think it's a really cool song.
It happens all the time.
It does. So I think when we demo it, and
let's hear
and it's turned into, and it's also changed a lot with the band. That is one of the best band songs that we have.
You guys rock that one.
Oh, man, we just
absolutely.
We rock. It doesn't even sound bluegrass anymore, I don't think. Rugged Acoustic.
Let's hear it.
So this one's called A Half a Mile of Normal, and it's a murderous trucker song.
That sounds great.
Trucker's wife said she found herself a brand new man. There ain't no sense in me coming back home. Well, I'm headed that way right now, and I pray to God she's not alone. I got the hammer down up in northern bound. Let's see how fast these 18 wheels can roll. Can't even see the cold line by the soul bulldog burning up the road. Pray to God, please help me. I don't know just what I'll do when I get there. 'Cause I'm a half a mile from no more than a mile. Best I don't care. Yes, I'm a half a mile from no more than a mile. Best I don't care. Driving myself crazy thinking about all those hurtful words I said. Picturing you with another man lying in our bed. Should I beg to take me back, or should I make your new man beg to get away? Well, I was taught to turn the other cheek, but this time seems like someone ought to pay. Got the hammer down and then on the bound. Let's see how fast these 18 wheels can roll. Can't even see the cold fly by, so long burning up the road. Pray to God, please help me. I don't know just what I'll do when I get there. 'Cause I'm a half a mile from no more than a mile. That's how I don't care. 'Cause I'm a half a mile from no more
these 18 wheels can go. Can't even see the cold cloud light, so belong burning up the road. Pray to God, please help me. I don't know just what I'm doing when I get there. And I'm a half a mile from no more than a mile past. I don't care. 'Cause I'm a half a mile from no more than a mile past. I don't care. 'Cause I'm a half a mile from no more than a mile past. I don't care.
Just three guys, folks. All that great sound there, the Wall of Sound, Ridge Banks, and the Wall of Sound on the Songwriter Connection podcast. Live in my dining room, the Lenahan Writers Room, right around the dining room table.
It's awesome.
Sounds fantastic. What a great song you and Greg Wilson wrote there.
Man, I love it.
Man, that's a hit. That's country music right there. Oh
yeah,
great stuff. Let me tell you, even if you're from Nashville and you haven't seen these guys, watch for them. Watch for Ridge. Any of the songwriter nights around. Watch for Micah. He's an amazing songwriter as well. And David Young. You'll see them around, and you want to go catch them and catch a show. Absolutely. You just were nominated for a big award, and I wanted to mention that. So talk a little bit about that. What a great piece of validation for what you do.
Yeah,
so,
it was what was it? The International AIMA. So the International Acoustic Music Awards.
Wow.
And I was a finalist for Best Male Vocalist.
Wow.
Best Male Artist, I believe, was the
That's cool.
category.
Yeah.
And so I made the top 10.
Well,
I picked the runner-up in the
that is something to be
finalists
proud
just
of.
now. Yeah, so
absolutely.
that
We're
was
going to ride his coattails.
honored and humbled, really.
Did you enter a specific song, or
I entered 18152.
18152, which is
Yep.
great that you played earlier.
Yep.
That's fantastic. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
Now you have websites and places that people can look you up.
Yeah, you can go to ridgebanks.com. We've got I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. So is Micah, so is David Young, so is the Wall of Sound. We've got an Instagram now, and we're working on doing some more social media around that too.
That's great. And when you figure out how to use Instagram, teach me.
That's what we got David for. That's what we got
I
David.
can't get things to transfer from Facebook to Instagram, so I'm always trying to,
I'm still trying to figure it out, and I'm the 22-year-old guy. Shit.
I think David's going to give lessons because he teaches us.
If he can't do it, it can't be done.
That's right.
Yeah. So, absolutely. What a bunch of fun guys.
Well, that's what's beautiful. It's like we're all best friends, too.
Yeah.
These guys aren't just great
I can see
musicians
that.
and great writers themselves. We don't just play my music. We also play music from all of us, really.
Yeah. Because you're all songwriters.
And we're starting to write together a little bit, too. So
That's
going to
good.
be pretty cool, too.
And I think you're going to see some magic when you three get in the room. And Bobby, too. Bobby's a great songwriter. Bobby's not here tonight.
Incredible. He's not, but he's a
Bobby Kropp is a great songwriter. When you guys all get together and start writing songs for the band, it's going to take it to a whole new
That's
level.
our next project.
Yep.
And when it happens, you're going to come back and be on our show, I hope.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of new music. We've been playing a lot of new music, and I've deliberately not recorded them because we've been working them out as the band. And I really want a lot of them to be band songs, but now we're getting them where we like them and we can start recording them.
Good.
We're doing a lot of recording at Hidden Creek, right? Isn't that the
Hidden Creek.
Oh, Hidden Creek. Yep.
And that's
the
in
place.
Mount Juliet.
Kevin Greenyer.
Kevin Greenyer. Yeah.
Right.
Kevin Greenyer.
Well, I
Yes,
can't wait
man.
to hear some of these projects. I really can't. So, why don't we take it out with a song today, guys?
Okay.
You've got so many. There's Long Way Home. Which
You
one?
wanna
do
play Long Way Home?
Long Way Home is a great song. Would you prefer to play that one? Yeah.
So we play whatever Ridge tells us. He calls it out. We're the jukebox.
You're the jukebox.
That's right.
Ridge Banks.
Well, that's Micah's favorite song.
Yeah.
So I think
This
it's
is
fun.
well. Let's play Micah's favorite. So you played mine already.
Yeah.
So let's do it. Long Way Home on the Songwriter Connection podcast.
winter's coming down pretty hard. Don't my wiper blades look kinda worn? Try to wipe these tears from my eyes. I still got 8 hours to drive. It's gonna be a long time alone. I've got cruise control on. True shall be known. I'm taking the long way home. Baby calls me on my phone, answers me in an angry tone, wondering what I did today. Must not like what I had to say. It's gonna be a long time alone. I've got cruise control on. True shall be known. I'm taking the long way home. Rain not changed to snow. Icy winds begin to blow. Baby speaking in some kind of code. Trying now just to see the road. Gonna be a long time alone. I've got cruise control on. True shall be known. I'm taking the long way home. And I'm always on the go.
And I'm always on the go.
I feel more comfort on the road.
Feel more comfort on the road.
Shame of watching our love road is why I'm taking a long way home. Rain now changed to snow. Icy winds begin to blow. Baby speaking in some kind of code. Trying now just to see the road. Gonna be a long time alone. I've got cruise control on. True shall be known. I'm taking the long way home. And now the driver gives me time to think things through. I know that my love for her is true. If that's enough, I've not got a clue. I'm terrified of the work and finding somebody new. It's gonna be a long time I've been alone. I've had my cruise control on too long. Think I'll just hum my song on my long way home. Taking the long way home. Taking the long way home.
What a great song to end it on, I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. I could only listen to another 200 or 300 songs from you guys tonight.
Thanks,
Oh my
man.
God, that's all I could take, you know. Fantastic. Our dining room has never sounded better. Ridgebanks and most of the Wall of Sound. Next time, We got to get Bobby Kropp.
We'll get the whole.
Definitely.
We're going to get Bobby and his wife, who's another great songwriter.
Yes,
Pam.
absolutely,
Pam.
Pam, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, thank you so much for providing great entertainment.
Thank you,
We could
man.
feel the
Thank you,
Nashville
David.
coming out on this podcast.
Yes, indeed.
Recording it here in the evening and the second day of March. But we'll be publishing this a little bit later on. But you guys have been great guests, and I thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Dave.
Please join us on a new episode coming out in another couple of weeks.
So glad you're doing it.
So much fun.
Thank you for listening to the Songwriter Connection podcast. Find us on social media at Songwriter Connection. Also, listen to Dave Linehan's Nashville Connection radio show. It streams live every Friday morning on WOBL and WNOI. Look for us on Facebook and YouTube. See you next time on Songwriter Connection.